interrupt your programming on WPBT. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message has been transmitted by request of the Lakeland Police Department and CSX Corporation. At around 8:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey Circus train derailed over a curve near the Y at Lakeland, Florida. The passenger cars were completely destroyed along with 8 freight cars. A chopper setting site plowed down as well due to invisible wiring. Stay tuned for further updates on this developing story. The following message has been transmitted by request from the Florida State Highway Patrol, the NTSB, and the Lakeland Fire Department. 2 people so far were killed from this horrific disaster. Also, parts of the passenger car frame sheared off as a result of this atrocious collision. The 88th through the 92nd cars of the 97-car train were totaled along with 8 dormitory sleeper, cafe, and dining cars. The NTSB is beginning an investigation on this horrific disaster. Stay tuned for further updates. A broken wheel on one of the passenger cars aboard the Barnum and Bailey Circus train has been detected as a flawed design. It is being taken to NTSB labs for further observation. Also, the chopper pilot who crashed after accidentally hitting a power wire is in non-critical condition. He will be checked for extremely minor injuries. 2 others from the derailment alone suffered severe and critical injuries. The data box recorder was also recovered and is being taken in for evidence. Stay tuned for later statements on this developing story from NTSB officials. The fire rescue is miles from the crash site. The passenger cars from 27 through 32 and 88 through 92 have been loaded on flat cars bound for the scrap yard. Cars 93 and 94 were destroyed down to beyond the frame. They will also be written off. The investigation is nearing its closing settlement. NTSB official Robert Lobby says the wheel construction suffered overheating from lack of cooling mechanisms due to its poor construction. The injured have since been sent to area hospitals for full recoveries. Stay tuned for later statements from the NTSB on this horrifically developing story. Tune to 1240 FM on your radio dial for further details on upgrades and regulation changes as the story develops. Both CSX diesel suffered no damages, but all 77 of its 97 cars were derailed. 14 of them mentioned earlier are totaled from the wreck. The investigation is nearing closing. Stay tuned for later statements from NTSB and Operation Lifesaver officials. Jerry Hall and R. Robert Lobby have so far speculated that the wheel construction was responsible for this disaster. Stay tuned for further updates. All broadcasting has ceased productions for the duration of this message. Stay away from this area. We interrupt your stations on WPBT. This is an emergency update to the investigation to the circus train wreck at Lakeland, Florida. This message has been transmitted by request from Robert Lobby from the NTSB and Jerry Hall from Operation Lifesaver. Faulty wheel construction causing overheating and friction were confirmed as the result of this disaster. All circus passenger cars that derailed but were not destroyed are being sent to the car body shops for required upgrading. The lack of curvature was confirmed as the prime suspect. We thank you for your cooperation during this emergency. We will now return to WPBT for normal programming.